What's up everybody, welcome back to yet another video. Today will be messy as hell, but the fly is very cool. It is from this book from the 90s called Seatrout on the Coast, and there are a lot of cool patterns in this book and version number 2 of this book that came out shortly after. I want to cover the flies in there, so before we do anything, please do remember to subscribe to my channel. Turn on post notifications so you get notified whenever I upload new videos. And let's just jump straight down to my vise here and tie out this Pasnow steelhead. So the hook in my vise here is from Avex Hooks, the NS156. Really great hook. Originally this was tied on a seed prints from Partridge, I believe, but this hook is very similar and it's also always in stock, so that's a good thing. For the tail, we need some grizzly marabou, and this pattern is one of those patterns, you know, you could just switch out the colors and do whatever you want with it. This one has red in it, but you could switch it out with some pink or green or whatever. So let's get that marabou tail in here. Tie this down as well. You can use that as an underbody. Like that. Cut your excess free. Then you want a grizzly hackle, and I had one laid out, it's here, like this. Tie that in the tip. What I like to do is to kind of open it up like this. Makes it a lot easier to tie it in, so when you fold that back you can snip off this part right here, which leaves you with this triangle you can catch with your tying thread. Tie that in on the side here. Just like so. And then what you need to do with this pattern is to get some sort of marabou feather and trim off these fibers. You can see I've done it here on one side, and when you have these long ones you kind of want to trim them into small bits like this, and this makes a lot of mess on your tying table. So while you're at it, you might as well tie out more than just one, because this marabou will just be flying everywhere. But it also gives a lot of movement to the fly, so I guess you could use dubbing, but then again it would just be a totally different fly. And Peter Pasnow, who invented this fly, invented this one for not only sea trout but also steelheads on the coasts, which are rainbow trouts that escape from the fish farms. They kind of react to this one, so that's why I said it'll probably work on just about any fish, really. And I also tried this with putting the marabou into a dubbing loop. And that just, oh, I have to be careful with breathing right now. Actually, it's just flying everywhere, and in the dubbing loop it just flew even more everywhere. My entire office looked worse than it normally does. So the best technique definitely is to just dub it directly onto your thread like I am here. And I guess this could also mimic a male stickleback during spawning season. They kind of get this red hue to them. So just slowly work your way up through the fly here with the dubbing. Remember to give it a slight taper, just to give it that fish silhouette. I had a talk the other day with a guy on Instagram where we talked about starting to rain. We didn't talk about it starting to rain. It's just if my microphone picks it up, it's just started to rain like really heavily outside. But we talked about because we both wondered what the fish think when they see a creation like this. Do they take it for a fish or a shrimp or whatever? What do you think? Why don't you join the conversation or the discussion? What do you think that the fish take this for? Personally, I think they take it for a small fish. Whoop, and my hackle broke. That's annoying. So instead of me starting over, let me just show you how to correct this. If your hackle breaks, you can very carefully with open turns go back through the fly like this and reattach that hackle, and then obviously you need to dub it again, but not as much, just to cover up those thread wraps. There we go. It's better to have too much dubbing on here than too little. You can always brush it out. So let's do that again. Catch my feather here. Stroke these fibers back. Get that first turn in without breaking it this time. And then you want open turns. All the way up. In front here. And what I like to do is to get at least 3 or 4 turns in front here to kind of exaggerate the head here, give it a little bit more hackle in front. So that's 3. You can always kind of look, I think a 4th one on this fly will look the best, so secure that. Man, what a summer it has been, like up until this point. We haven't had the best weather here. It's kind of like fall actually. Rains for 4 days and then you get used to it a little bit colder, and then you dress accordingly to that, and then all of a sudden you have one day where it's just 30 degrees. So it's really hard to adapt. Get a whip finish in here. One more, just for the safety of it. Cut off the thread, get your dubbing brush, and then brush out some of that red marabou underneath here. And just because my hackle broke and I had to wind my thread up through that, I have to be a little bit rougher to it. But that's okay. So here we go. That's the fly here. And this is also one of these flies, you know, this will mimic just about anything. And I think that red in there just looks so good. I'm also thinking a variation with pink, just to kind of give it that polar magnus feels. I might do one of those just for the fun of it, for Instagram at least. So that's the fly there for you. Please do remember to subscribe to my channel. Try this one out. Leave some comments down below. Share this on your other socials so we can grow this community. Thank you for your time. I will see you in the next video.